Hi guys, this is Shweta Shah from Million Brains. I am the lead machine learning mentor over here. In this video, we'll be working on another Python automation project. And in this project, we'll be doing something with Twitter. Okay, so this project is going to be an automated tweet bot. So as the name is suggesting you, we will be creating a bot which can automatically tweet anything on behalf of you. Of course, you have to send the message which you want to tweet. It cannot tweet anything randomly, but you do not have to go to Twitter and type anything and stuff like that. It can do that on behalf of you. So the name of the project is Auto Tweet Bot. Okay. So before moving to the code, let's see if I have to do it manually, what steps it includes, so that we will be focusing on implementing the same steps in my code. Okay. So let's move ahead to the Twitter. So first of all, if I need to tweet something, first thing I have to do is coming to Google, right? So second thing will be going to Twitter, of course. So let me search for Twitter right now. And this is the place where I will be coming after opening Google, right? Because I do not have my ID logged in. I have to log in at first. For that, let me quickly copy my ID. Just give me a second. Yeah. So for that, I have to pass my username over here. Then I have to click on this next button. Then I have to pass my password over here. And once my password is passed, I have to click on this login button. Now, once this is done, it takes me to my home page of Twitter. Once I'm on my own home page, I can come to this particular place and tweet anything, right? So let's tweet something. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi. Quite old school to treat this, but let's just go ahead. And after this, what I have to do, I have to click on this tweet button. Once I do this, you can see the tweet is done, right? So these are the steps which we have to do in order to tweet something on our Twitter account. Let me just note them down so that when we are coding, we can relate whether we have deployed all the steps or not. So let's have a list over here. First step is open Google. I'm writing in shorthand. Second step is open Twitter login page. Third step is give username or email or password, whatever you wish to. Then click on next, right? Then our next step was to give password, right? After that, we had to click on the login button. Click on login. Once this is done, we were at the home page. So there I had to pass my message, right? Pass my message or write my message, whatever. Pass my message. And finally, I had to click on the tweet button. And in these 8 steps, my task was done. So now I'm going to depict the same steps in my code. So let's see how we do so. So for writing the code, I'll be moving ahead to Sublime. What is Sublime? It is a code editor. You can use any other editor if you wish to. Let me quickly go over here. I have already saved this file with the name autotwitter.py. You can save it with any other name, but you have to keep the extension as .py as it is going to be a Python file. Okay, so let's start with opening Google. As you have seen, or maybe if you even don't know, then let me tell you. In order to do anything over the web using Python, there is one tool which helps us, and that is Selenium. Selenium actually is a Python library which helps us in writing some commands which can be implemented over the internet, and we can do any kind of automated thing over the internet, right? So first thing I have to import the WebDriver module from Selenium. So let me do that quickly. WebDriver. From Selenium, import WebDriver, right? Now, what is this WebDriver? WebDriver is actually, this WebDriver is a module, right? But apart from this, we also need another WebDriver, which is an application. That WebDriver, in your case, if you're using Firefox, you will have another WebDriver named Gecko Driver. In my case, I'm going to use Chrome, so my WebDriver will be named as Chrome Driver. So what is Chrome driver? Chrome driver is actually an application which is going to create a passage, you can say, or a connection between the code I'm writing and the internet. Here I'm only going to write the commands, right? It has to go to internet and implement whatever I'm asking, right? And that thing is done using Chrome driver. So let's quickly use our Chrome driver to open Google. And for that, I'll have to write web driver dot Chrome. I'm writing Chrome because I'm going to be using Chrome driver. I'm sorry, I'm going to be using Google Chrome. If you're using Firefox, you'll have to change it accordingly. So after this, I have to pass Chrome driver.exe, and this will be opening the page, Google page for me. Now, this has to be given a name because this name is going to work as a reference to the page, and whatever we will be doing on the page will be done through this reference. Okay, let me run this part and see if it is opening Google's page or not. Meanwhile, it's running. Let me tell you what is Selenium, what is, I think I have told you what is Selenium and what is WebDriver. But if you are thinking how to download them, I'll be linking another video in the description box where you can see how you can download and install these things, whatever dependencies I'm using. Okay. So in this part, my code is able to run this part I had written, and it is opening me the Google's tab, window, whatever you call it. Now, so this fulfills my first task. Let me take it out. Okay. I have opened Google. Now my next task is to open Twitter's login page, right? For that, I need to copy the login page's URL of Twitter. So let me just do that quickly, okay? Let's search for Twitter, and over here, yeah, okay. It is taking me to the home page because I have already logged in. Let me quickly close the tabs. Okay. Now let me try again. Yeah, this is the page. This is the login page which I have to open through my code. So let me just copy this and come back to my code. Now to open any link, you have to use a function called get. So you have to write driver.get. So you're going to driver, which is your Google's window, and you're asking it to open this link using the get function. Now, this link will open this page. Let's try this if it is doing so or not. It will be taking a couple of seconds to run. Yes, this page has opened. Okay. So next step is also done. Let me take it out again. Okay. Done. Now my next task is to give the username. So let us go back to the page which has appeared and see. This is the username box. Actually, let me maximize this one. This is the username box which I'm interested in, right? I have to give my username or phone or email ID over here. So I have to locate it somehow so that my code can find it. Okay. So for that, I have to understand how this box is saved in my HTML code of this page. Okay. So you have to inspect the page. For that, right click and click on this inspect. Doing this, this is going to show you the whole HTML code of this particular page, and you will be able to understand how these elements are stored in the code. Okay, it is actually a good practice. You can check it out and do stuff related to this or like this with any other website if you follow steps. Okay, so right now, let me zoom in at first. Yeah, so that everything is visible to you. Yeah, right now I want to see how this email box is located in my HTML code so that my Python code can search it, right? So for that, I'll be just going to this place. See what I did? I selected this select button. And now whatever element you will be hovering over, that element will be highlighted. And on the right side, the HTML code related to the element will be highlighted. So I want to see how this particular email box is saved. So look at this. This is actually, where did it go? Let me search for it again. This is actually an input element. Okay, it is an input element, and there are some attributes like autocomplete, autocorrect, name, spell check, class, etc., etc. Now, in order to locate this on my through my code, I'll be using a function called find element by name. What does the function do? See here, this element has a name, which is text, right? You can see, I hope. This element over here has a name text. So I'm going to ask my code to find an element with the name text. And let's see if it is finding it or not. Okay. So let me quickly go back to my coding page. So basically, I am going to ask my driver to find element by name. Okay. And here I have to pass the name. What was the name? Text. So I'm just writing this. And this will be returning me the box, the element. So let's hold the box as box box. Okay. Now let me just print this box so that we can understand if the code is working or not, because we're not showing or doing anything new here. So let's do this and see what is happening. Okay, here I guess I'm having an error, and the error is saying me there is no such element exception. Okay, so the reason of this can be two things. First thing, there is actually no such element, but we have seen there is an element named input which has a name text. So the second reason can be before the page is loaded on your Google Chrome, my code is trying to find this element, right? So what happens whenever a new page is loaded? At first, the HTML code is loaded, and then the corresponding elements are shown on the page. So it sometimes takes some time. So let's do one thing. Let's import another library. Import type. And here, after opening the page, let's give a pause so that the page is properly uploaded. Okay, not uploaded. The page is properly loaded. Okay. So time dot sleep, and let's have a sleep of 10 seconds over here. Or let's have 5 seconds. Let's see if this doesn't work. Then we will figure out something else. So what time dot sleep does, so your code will start executing from the first line. First line is executed, second line is executed like that. When the code will come to the fifth line, the code will hold at that place for 5 seconds, and then it will come to the sixth line. So basically, after opening the page, I'm giving a 5 seconds pause so that everything is loaded properly, and then I'm looking for this element. So let me just run this and see if it is working fine now or not. If not, then maybe I will have to up the time so that the code is not giving me any error or so. Yes, so this time I guess, see, this element is printed out. See, this element is an object of Selenium's web element module class. So I cannot, like, it is not gonna print something which makes sense to us. It is gonna print something like this, but we know that the element has been found. Okay, so my next step would be, this was the page. Yes, my next step would be to send my username over here, right? For that, there is a very easy to use function, and let me first of all comment this part. Maybe we will use it later on. And the function is send keys, send underscore keys. Okay, so I'm just, this box is holding the email box for me. I'm just writing box dot send keys, and now whatever you want to send, you pass here as a string, as an argument. Okay, so let me quickly copy my username again so that I can send it through my code. Just one second. Yes. Okay. Now let's run this and see if this code works fine or not. As there's going to be a 5 seconds of delay, so let's keep this in our mind. Yes, the page has appeared and it has sent my username to this particular place, right? It is done. So now I have to click on this next button. Just like this, just the way you figured out how the box is saved in your code, now I have to figure out how this next button is saved, right? So let's just see here. I'm gonna follow the same thing. Now let's just come over here. This is our button, right? This is our button which I wanna click. So in order to do that, what I have to do, I have to write some, like, either I have to use the name or I have to use the class or something so that I can find this element. Right now, I'm gonna use the X path of this next button so that I can find this. XPath is what it is, like an address of any element on the HTML page, which is used to locate the elements. Okay, so there are two ways. First, write the XPath from scratch. How do you write the XPath? First, you give two slashes like this. Then you write in, sorry, I'm so sorry. Then you write the name of the element, whatever element you're finding. And here, I guess the name of the element is div. Okay. Then you have to start a square bracket, then give an at the rate. Then you have to write the name of the attribute which you will be using. So here, let's say if I decide to use the class attribute, I'll be giving class and then equal to the value of the attribute and then close the bracket. This creates the XPath for us. Okay. But there is another way of doing it. You can copy the XPath as well. How? Right click on the element you're interested, click on copy and click on copy XPath. Simple as that. Now you just have to use like paste it wherever you want. So I'll have to go to driver again, which is my page, and I have to use find element by XPath. Previously, I had a function find element by name. Right now, I'm using an XPath, hence find element by XPath. Now here, just paste whatever has been copied. It is actually the full XPath. What is full XPath? We will be seeing later on. This is not, sorry, not full XPath, but an hierarchical XPath which is given over here. We'll be looking at it in a while. But let's just see if we can click it. Okay, I mean if the element is found. So to click any element, you can write dot click open close bracket. That's all we have to do. So let me just run this and see if it is working or not. So this is opening Twitter's login, fine, opening the page. Then, so this has opened up over here. Now I have to see how this password box is saved and then do the same thing I did with the email box, right? So here, let me just quickly maximize this and check out how this password box is saved. So you can see this is another input box and the name over here is password. So I'll have to use the same code as I did for email. I'll just have to change the name to password. So let's quickly do that and send my password to this box. Okay. And as this password is coming up in a new page, let's have a sleep of, let's say 2 seconds. Okay. Sorry, it became 20. Yeah. Now let's write P box. Okay. Let me copy paste the same thing here again. And then let's write P box. Yeah. And here I'll have to write password. Okay. And then here I have to pass my password. So let me write it. Let it be PWD. I'll just change on it later on and see if it is working right now. This page has opened up. Username has been given. Password has been given. Okay, this is done. Now I just have to click on this login button, right? So let's maximize this again and let's see how this particular page, I mean, login button is saved on the page, right? So here, the same thing, I have to copy the X part of this particular page. So, sorry, element. So let's just go to copy and copy the X part. Let's paste the X part at first. And then I'll be copying this thing from here. Right? And let's just close it from here. And as I have to click this as well, so let's write click. Okay, this should click the password box, I mean login button. So let's just run this. As I've given a false password, so it will not be opening it up. But let's see what is happening. First thing done. Okay, so it is working fine. It is showing me wrong password. You can see at the bottom. That means it is working fine. Now I'll just run it with my new password and see what happens next. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll just save my password at the top part, and of course I'll be editing that out so that it is not public, and then I'll be continuing from this part. Okay, so I have saved the password with a variable named pwd. So this now should be working fine. So let's just run this. and see if it opens up my place or not. Done. Okay, done. So this is opening my home page. Now let's quickly get to the list of things that we have to do and see what things we have done. So we have done the username thing over here. We have also done click on next. We have done click on password and login. Now I have to pass my message and just click on the tweet, right? So let's just get back to it. Yeah, over here I have to see how this message box is staged, right? So let's just do Control Shift I. From there, let me just take it here. Yeah, this is actually, yeah, this is a div element where I can set my message. So let's this time let's write the XPath manually. Okay. So let me just copy the class value from here. And this time I'll just write, as it is also loading a new page. So I'm gonna put a sleep of 2 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever you wish to. Now I'm gonna find an element with the XPath I'm gonna write down. So this is gonna be a div element with the value of the class as copied from there. Okay. And here I have to close it like this. And this will be doing the thing for me. Okay. Now we will have to see if it gets to the element, I have to send something, right? So let me, either you can save it to a variable and then send the keys, or you can send keys directly from here. Send keys, and let's give the same message, Happy Ganesh Chaturthi. Okay, and let's see if it works or not. Okay, let's run this and let's hope for the best. Yes, this is opening up, password is given, and at this page, yes, it has written Happy Ganesh Chaturthi, right? Now I just have to click on the tweet button and my task will be done. So let's just see how this tweet button is actually saved. Control Shift I, or right click and inspect, whatever you wish to. After that, let's come to this particular button. This is the button. Is this the button? Let me recheck it. Yes, this is the button. I have to click, like I have to search for a span element like this and then click it on, right? So let's just write driver dot find. I could have copied, pasted the same thing from the top, but let's just write this XPath. Now this time it is a span element with the class value as copied from there. Yes. Okay. And once this element is found, I have to click it. So this is done. Now let's see if it does my task. And let's actually have a pause of 1 second or 0.5 second, because if it doesn't write and before that my code tries to click on the tweet button, it is not going to work, right? So let's just see what happens next. I have done all the steps. At first, Google should open. Now Twitter's login link should open. Now the user box should be clicked and the username should be given to it. Now password, here password and login should be done. Now here Happy Ganesha Chaturthi should be written and tweet should be clicked. So it has also been clicked, and you can see we are also seeing a message for Ganesha, Happy Ganesha Chaturthi as typed, right? So this did my task as I asked it to do. All the course, whatever steps we had decided at the earlier phase, we have implemented the same thing. And this is how we created an auto treat board. Okay. I hope you try it at home on your own. For that, if you need the course, I'll be putting up the link of, let me show you. Yeah, I'll be putting up the link of this GitHub repository, which is holding the code in the description box. You can find it from there. Again, if you need to understand in detail or you need some notes or something, so we have also got a blog for you, which whose link will also be given to you quickly. Okay. So this is going to be the blog whose link you will be getting in the description box as well. So do try this project out. And if you have any doubts or anything, you can comment in this video or you can go to the Quora page of Alien Brains. You can put your doubts over there. We will be more than happy to solve them. Okay. So we will meet next with our new project. Till then, bye-bye. Thank you.